Hello and welcome to this workshop Bringing the Blooms with Funny How Flowers Do That. I'm Harriet Parry and today I'm going to show you how to bring some floral cheeriness into unusual places around the home while we wait for spring. So I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful floral wreath and also these flower curtains, which are great for dressing up an unexpected corner or a wall. So yeah, let's begin. What you'll need is a recycled wreath ring. You'll need flowers, you'll need some floristry wire, I've got here, and some sharp scissors. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to make my floral base. And I'm going to be using gypsophilia and limonium, which is these. These are great because they'll dry really nicely, so you can reuse this wreath over and over again and keep adding different flowers. Right, I'm going to get my floristry wire and I'm just going to attach to the top of the wreath. I'm just going to give it a couple of twists around like this, okay? And I'm going to keep my wire on the roll. So that's going to be used to attach the flower bunches that I'm going to make now. So I'm just going to grab, I'm not going to be too precious here, I'm just going to grab sort of some rough bunches, because this is going to be the base, so we're not going to see the mechanics of this, so it doesn't have to be too neat, so don't worry there. And I'm just going to cut them sort of there. So we've got these little bunches like this. And all we're going to do is, starting where I've put my wire at the top, we're just going to lay them on top of the wreath ring, like so. And so they're going to sort of be pointing upwards and out. And we're going to follow all the way around the wreath ring like this. So I get my wire, and all I'm going to do is twist, okay? Twist again. So I'm going around the whole of the wreath, the two sides of the wreath ring, round onto the back. And then I'm just going to almost do like a helter-skelter, like a zigzag, just a couple of times around the stems of the flower. Okay, so base done. And now we're going to add our fresh flowers. I'm going to start with my carnations. And we're just going to cut the stems sort of around like this sort of length. And the longer the stem, the longer your stem on your wreath is going to be. And I'm going to use the carnations that have got a really bold shape, and I'm going to use those in groupings. So I'm going to I think I'm going to put them on one side. So what you're going to do is, you're going to pop your flowers by sliding them in the direction of the other flowers. Okay, so my wreath's going this way, so I'm going to be pushing them in this direction, but they're following through this way. Pop them in like this. Okay. I'm just going to group these. So I'm just going to dress them like this. Okay, and give them a bit of a wiggle or move them around if you can't. They're proving tricky. All you've got to remember is basically following your direction and also the way that you place your flowers in so they're secure. So I'm just going to continue adding. Okay, so now I've put in my rounder flowers, I'm going to move on to my next flower, which I think I'm going to do my tulips. So when we add our tulips, it's really nice to pay attention perhaps to the stem, because sometimes they have a nice little kink or curve. So I'm going to use that to their advantage in my wreath. I'm going to sort of place them slightly, some on the outside and a couple sort of in the sort of centre of the wreath. So I'm really bringing their beauty all the way around. So I'm just going to add, I'm going to keep some stems short, some stems long. Again, I'm going to follow this natural kink and I'm going to bring that around following the direction I've already done. So I'm going to add this. This is quite long, so I'm going to keep this stem long. I'm just going to gently pop it in here. So once my tulips are in, I'm actually going to go back to a flower here. I've got Solidago, which is a bit more sort of bushy in its look. And I'm just going to add some more sort of texture, and I'm also going to use this shape because it's a big whoosh. I'm going to bring it out, and I've got a few stems here, but I might concentrate them in one sort of area. So I'm just going to cut them about this short. But again, if you wanted a massive whoosh of if you've got longer stems, keep your stems longer and you get a bigger extension. what I'm doing here, I'm just taking some of the stems, some of the extra leaves off, just so it's easier to slide your stem under your wire if you have flowers that are a little bit more leafy. So I've got one there. I'm going to put another one of that just slightly higher there. So I've got a pop of colour there and a pop of colour down there, just brings the eye. So next I'm going to add some rosemary for scent. It smells really good, and it's also going to create more volume to the wreath too. So now my wreath's looking lovely and full, I'm going to use my straighter flowers to add some lines and some definition to the piece. These are also great because they create some more height. Right, so those are my delphiniums in, and I'm going to now put my stocks. This wreath is really starting to take shape, but now I'm going to add, I've got some more delicate stems here. I've got these paper whites and my alströmerias, and they've got really delicate stems. So I'm just going to sort of pop them in now before I add my final touches. So I'll add that now. Now it's time for the final touch, and I'm going to add these sunny craspedia. And they're really fun because they're little balls of sunshine. I'm going to use this very long stem and the pop of colour on the end. I'm just going to cut, I don't want them too long, but I'm going to go with my sunbeam shape. And I'm just going to place them in some little gaps. I've got one there. I'm going to put another one here. I'm going to put a cluster, I think here. And these are really easy to place in your wreath because they've got a lovely clean stem. So here you go. This is my finished wreath with all my flowers, and I think it looks absolutely wonderful. But for me, I think it might need some more colour. So I'm going to decorate this with lots of colourful bright ribbons. So now all my flowers are in, I've just wired some ribbons, so I'm just going to attach them now. This is going to go on my wall, so I've kept my ribbons nice and long for extra colourful drama. So now my ribbons are in, I think it's ready to hang. My home's feeling better already. So another really nice idea to brighten up those unexpected corners of your home is a flower curtain. So if you've got any leftover stems from your wreath or any flower arrangements, it's a great little way. So I've got lots of little offcuts here. They want to be about that sort of length. And then you need your wire, which we used on the wreath before. So all we do is, quite simply, we just twist the wire around the stem, like this, doing it quite neatly because we're using the wire almost like a design feature rather than just part of the mechanics. So once we've twisted it around nice and neatly, I'm going to extend the wire just below the bloom, and then I'm going to add my next one. So I'm going to do a tulip perhaps. You could have a pattern or you could just go random. So I'm now just going to wrap my wire around my stem once again, like this, okay? And then extend the wire just about 1 centimetre beyond the bloom. So we've got 2 in there. And then I'm going to add another one. So I might go for a stalk here. So I'm just going to wrap it round again, round the stem. And then extend my wire down and repeat. And you can do as many as you like to create any length you like, and then put them together like this. I think it's really fun.